let's start. I guess this is just about everyone today. I have a little sequence. Let's see if I stick with it. But go ahead and we'll come into Sukhasana. And we'll cross our legs at our mid shins. Remember, one of your goals in Sukhasana is to get to the point where the knees are lower than your hip points. One way to do that, if your hips are really tight, is just to add height underneath your bottom. So if you notice sitting on the two blankets, the knees are lower than the hip points. If I move down onto the mat or onto the floor without the blankets underneath the bottom, the knees are slightly higher. So the blanket just gives me a little bit of a tilt of the pelvis, opens up the hip flexors, and brings the knees down lower, just so we all know. And then once you get your legs at your mid shins, lean over, really draw the outer foot down, but adjust the lower buttock flesh. So rotate out, but also draw back. And then bring your fingertips to outside of your hips to your blankets. Keep your elbows bent. Really lift up through your side body. And then bring the very tops of your shoulders down. Take your shoulder blades and move them away from your spine. Focus your gaze out in front of you for a moment on the mat or on the floor, even at the tip of the nose. Bring the hands together at your heart center. Make sure to move your inner arms in towards your outer ribs, and the very tips of your elbows really stretch down towards your outer hips. Close your eyelids. Begin to center yourselves using your breath. It is Ujjayi breathing, so it's an audible inhalation. It's an audible exhalation. Each exhale here, see if you can find passivity. This may be the muscles in the face. This may be the palms of the hands. But kind of soften with your exhalation. I'll chant Om. Join in or you're welcome to just listen. Om. Exhale your breath. Bow your head by bringing your chin to the groove of your neck. Bring your hands to the very tops of your legs. Center your head, and as you exhale the breath, you can slowly open your eyes and release your hands. Very good, guys. Go ahead and again, make sure that you're at your mid shins here in your cross, that the center of your kneecaps go out in front of you. You can bring one block behind you if you've got it. We'll lift the spine and we'll twist to the right. And so I'm going to take the left hand right outside above the right knee, draw the outer right knee in, twist to the right. So with your right elbow is bent, and you use your fingertips and that kind of energetic pulling from the center of the right palm. See if you can relax the left arm. Sometimes that shoulder and arm gets kind of tense. So with an exhalation, relax the left arm, left hand, and see if you can use the right fingertips and twist a little bit deeper. And then exhale, gaze to the center first, and then release. One thing about gazing to the center before you let go of your twist is that we want to think about lining our chin up over the top of our shoulders both ways. So if you notice here, I can get that chin almost over the right shoulder, but as I turn back, it's not lined up here. You see, so I think that gives a little bit of level of the, maybe the tightness of the neck. You see, so it's not able to actually turn the line up over the shoulder, indicating tightness in the cervical spine. Okay, go the other way. So lift up, right hand goes outside of the left knee, gonna draw in, take the left fingertips behind, bend the elbow. and use the left fingertips more than you're using that right hand. And then as you're twisting, see if maybe you can get your chin to line up directly over the top of your left shoulder. Good. Good, good, good. Make sure that you're drawing down through both of your sits bones and not leaning to one side. And then as you exhale, gaze to the center, turn to the center again, trying to line the chin up with the right shoulder. And then exhale, release. Very, very good, guys. Go ahead and uncross your legs and recross. And then once more, adjust the buttock flesh. We'll take another spinal twist and you'll do it the exact same way you did, or watch for a moment. If you can, when you lift up and twist, instead of fingertips to the block, see if you can kind of draw the hand or the fingertips towards the top of the left leg, draw down and then twist. If you can't do that, then you can keep your fingertips on the block that's behind you, okay? So lift the side ribs. Take twist to the right. You can take the left hand outside of the right leg. See if you can bring the right hand to the very top of your upper left leg as you twist. Good, good, good. Now, if you can, draw the top of the left leg down with your fingertips. Put a lot of weight or equal weight on your outer hips, your sits bones. And then exhale, see if you can gaze to the center before you release the twist, and then release. Perfect. And then go opposite. So your legs are crossed the same way. We'll lift up, right hand goes. And when you do the left arm, maybe if you swing it, see if you can really bring that hand right to the very top of the right leg, draw down, lift up, twist. And then check on the chin. Check to see that the chin is lining up over the top of the left shoulder. Good, good, good. If you can't reach the upper leg, you can always take your fingertips to the block that's behind you. Tendency will be here, guys, to lean to your right. Everyone take a slight lean or put some weight, a little more weight in your left sitting bone. Relax your right arm. Gaze to the center and then release. Oh. Whew, very good, guys. Let's go ahead and let's stretch our legs out. And again, we'll rotate the flesh. I'm going to bend the right knee, bring the right foot up, and it's about a fist distance from the blankets. I want to sit at the very edge of the blanket and actually engage that left foot. This is Marichyasana 3. And so I'll use the right foot and kind of draw the left buttock flesh back. Sit really tall, guys. We're going to start by taking the left hand right outside of the right knee, taking the right hand behind again to your block. Keep your right elbow bent, press, lift, and twist to the right. Okay, so Marichyasana C. So make sure that your inner and your outer right foot are against your mat. Your right shin bone actually kind of goes up and back. Good. Hold on to the knee. Draw the outer right knee in with the left hand. Twist. The right elbow, elbow is bent behind your back. Good. Good, 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 good. Twist a little bit deeper, guys. See if you can move the belly button here to the right. Great. And then exhale, gaze to the center as you keep the twist, and then release. Okay, and then we'll switch sides. So you bring your left foot up, always adjust the buttock flesh. And a lot of times with Marichyasana is there's tightness in the hips. So the knee that's bent starts to do this, which shortens everything. You see? So we want to keep this outer left knee in. So as you lift up, hold the outer knee with the hand, draw in. And then left hand goes behind left arm, twist to the left. And then check on, again, the chin. I think it gives some information on maybe tightness in the neck and the upper back. So see if you can line the chin up directly over the top of the shoulder. Move the outer left knee in, use your inner left foot. Great, great. And then exhale, gaze to the center first before you release the twist. Great. And then release. Perfecto. Very good, guys. And we'll do that one more time. And I had a plan. Yeah. So I'm going to bend the knee and I'm going to see if I can hook this time. And so when we hook, you can keep the elbow bent. So I'm going to do this, engage the left leg, move first, the torso comes in like this. And then I'll take the arm up. And as I do that, I'm really using that arm to lengthen. I'll twist, lean in, hooks the back of the arm, palm faces out to the right, left palm. I want to draw the outer knee into the back of the arm, twist. You can again use your block behind you or maybe wrap the right arm around closer to the outer left hip as you twist. Okay, so try that. So use your hands behind your right knee to bring your right knee up. Yeah. And then draw the knee in so the outer knee comes in. Make sure that you've adjusted the left sitting bone so that the sit bone's moving towards the low back. Take the left arm up, bring it right into your ear, really extend up, and then twist. And then lean in and hook the back of the arm. Try to get to the armpit. Great, great, great. Now open the palm of the left hand facing the right. And then use the back of that arm, or yeah, if you can straighten the elbow. Maybe reach for the mat. If you can't straighten, keep the elbow bent. Use the back of the arm, draw the outer right hip back and twist a little deeper. Good. And then exhale, gaze to the center. Perfect. And release. Very, very good. So in Marichiasana, and I think we're going the opposite way, but I feel like there's a little bit of a trick to this because as you're moving in, so I'm taking the right arm up, right? And I'm going to go ahead and keep the length in the spine and twist. The problem comes is when we move forward, we've still got to keep that length. Do you get it? So if we do this and we twist and everything's going great, and then we come here and we're here, you see? So there's still that. You see that movement upward, lifting through the spine, but that's because I'm using the back of the arm to the outer leg. Okay, so let's try the opposite side. And so I'll bring the left foot up, hold the knee, take the right arm up, and use that. Feel the length in the spine. Twist to the left. Keep the length as you move in and hook the back of your right arm. And use your left hand to draw that outer knee in. Open the palms to face out or either straighten the elbow. Now here you've got to draw the outer left knee into the back of the arm. Draw the hip behind you. Left hip draws back, twist. Good. See that you really get the twisting perfect. If you straighten the elbow, still use the outer leg to the back of the arm. Wonderful. Wonderful. And then exhale to release. Perfect. And I think that's all of that we're going to do. But let's go ahead and come down on our mat. I hadn't even started the sequence yet. But let's go ahead and come down and do the blanket roll. And we won't be here too long because I do, again, have a sequence for us. So when you're rolling up your blanket, roll it to the size that's good for your flexibility in your spine. You see, so maybe if you're very tight in the spine, you may want to make your roll smaller, right? If you're very flexible, maybe you roll up 2 blankets to lie on. So when you do this, let's start by trying to get the tips of the shoulder blades against the roll. So I've got the knees bent. I'll use the hands to the mat to lift to tuck, and then I'll begin to recline here. So I need to come up kind of pretty high so that when I lift the bottom and roll back, that blanket is at the bottom of the shoulder blades here. And then I want to really kind of tuck, lengthen out the hips to bring my bottom down. You can use your arms any way that you want. Maybe they go over your head. Just so, again, you're looking for length. You're looking for opening or think of space creation, front and back of the body. So once you get the bottom edge of your shoulder blades against the blanket, You'll want to draw your side abdominal wall down and see if that changes the length of the position of the spine. So again, draw the side abdominal wall down. Front of your bottom of your front rib cage stretches down. The outer hip should be long, and we'll keep the knees bent for a moment. You can even, sometimes I just kind of lift the back up a little bit and see if I can move the muscles, kind of stretch them away from the spine. If you're comfortable, guys, your knees can move gently side to side. And when you're doing this, I think my main focus is to keep the backs of my upper arms grounded and keep the core engaged. So continue to draw the abdominal wall down, even though you're moving the knees. And you can use the belly button as kind of a reference. So when your knees go to the right, kind of move your abdominal flesh over to the left. I mean, you can even really kind of focus there by using your hand. You see, you can use your hand to your abdominal wall to encourage that movement opposite of your knees. Bring your knees to center. You can roll over your blanket a little bit deeper. There's kind of a couple of different ways to do that. One is to lift the bottom up and just kind of move over the blanket a little bit deeper, doing side to side. And now the blanket is down below the bottom of your shoulder blades. So it's below the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. It's around your back rib cage, the lower thoracic. So it's not in your lumbar yet, but it's, you know, the back rib cage right below shoulder blades, and find that space. So if that means kind of stretching out into your fingertips to get the shoulder blades to move, or the back ribs to separate or move away from the spine, the heels can move further from the bottom, so that gives a little length in the outer hips. The knees can actually straighten if that's okay with you, if that's not bothering the low back. The arms, again, used in conjunction with the legs, can really make a difference. So stretching your arms out and then extending through your legs, again, gives space. If your knees are bent, you can, again, if you're comfortable, let them move side to side. Again, focusing on grounding at the bones that are at the upper back. So the shoulder blades ground, the arm bones ground, the breastbone goes up, and the front of your bottom rib cage goes down. So there has to be that kind of, I used to have a yoga teacher that worked for me, and she would say that's all part of like duality. Like it's got to be these multiple things or dual things happening at once. Go ahead, and if the knees are straight, you can bend them, and safest way to do that would be kind of drag the heel against the mat. If your knees were already bent, walk your heels closer to your bottom, lift up, and roll over your blanket a little bit deeper. So now it is at the lumbar. It's at the lumbar spine now. And one thing that you guys can do, let's all do this, let's check this out. And I want you guys, and we're just kind of noticing the difference in the position of the pelvis and the hips, right? So what I want you guys to do is, the blanket is at the lumbar spine, walk your heels in pretty close to your bottom. And then check the kind of closing of the hip flexors. And then use your hands to your outer hips to lift your bottom just a little bit. And your thumbs at the back of your waist, and see if you can extend the bottom towards the heels and then stretch down really slowly. Now begin to move the heels a little bit away from the bottom, kind of a little bit at a time, just moving your heels forward. Knees are still bent. Really draw your outer legs in here, and you're finding maybe that space at the hip flexors. Go ahead and straighten the knees, and you'll do that by really extending through the heels. The heels draw down into the mat, and then straighten the knees one at a time. Do a floint, so really press the base of your big toe joint out. Draw your front rib cage down. Take your arms out to start with your palms up, and then with an exhalation, reach into your inner feet. Take your arms up, your palms are facing up. Now reach through your fingers, So see if your fingers your hands extending over your head and your feet extending towards the end of your mat can be equal. So they're the same. You're extending both ways evenly and equally. Great. And then relax the arms or release the arms. Bend the knees, and again, you can drag the heels to the bottom. And then if you're okay, let your knees move side to side. And this time, again, if you're comfortable, your knees can go all the way over to the side and rest on the mat. When that is happening, your focus kind of has to change. And for me, it has to change to that back, the lower part of my back ribs, right? So when I took my knees to the left and let them rest to the left, I noticed that the outer right hip is kind of pulling that back right rib cage up. So what I want to do is really move my abdominals. Oh, that feels so good. To the right, to have equal weight between my left back rib and my right back rib. So you may notice that one of the back rib cages seems to be not as heavy against the blanket roll, right? So see if you can change that. Sometimes using your hand to your belly to move the abdominal flesh. Or like I just saw Aiden do, lift the shoulders up and move one out. Do you see? And then if your knees are over to the left, you can go ahead and move them over opposite. And you can kind of do this on your own, guys, but where I really want us to focus is that grounding of that opposite back rib and where the abdominals are and the spreading of the shoulder blades. So remember, it's all about creating space. Mr. Iyengar has a quote that says, our bodies are miniature universes. And the universe is huge, right? It's expansive. It goes on and on, right? So the idea is that we're miniature universes, that there's all this space there. That can be found. Okay. Bring your knees, if they're over to one side, and if they went over to the right and not the left, then do that. But if you've gone equally to both sides, bring your knees back to the center. Walk your feet in, and as you're doing this, as you're bringing your heels in, close to your bottom, put your hands to your hip points. Try to keep that length in the posterior pelvis. Lift up. You can use your hands against your blanket, and we'll push our blanket down to the sacrum. This is actually my favorite part. Once you get the blanket there, roll back over the blanket. Do you see? So you just use the blanket to lengthen the sacrum and the flesh of your buttocks. Your knees can stay bent, and I think the further away from your bottom your heels are in this part, the better. keeping the knees bent, but still, again, remembering to find that space, not only at the back of your waist, but you're trying to really keep that space at the hip flexors. Lift your bottom, and you can push your blanket down below the lower buttock, upper hamstring, and then straighten the knees one at a time and then relax. Yeah. And maybe we see you can just kind of be aware, notice maybe any changes now as to before you started. I always feel like, yes, I found some extra space there. And then bend your knees one at a time. Remember, dragging the heel against the mat is the safest way to bend the knees. And then keep length in your lower back, and you can pull your knees into your chest. That can also be one at a time. And then go ahead and bring yourselves, roll over to your right and bring yourselves up seated. And when you come up seated, guys, we're going to go into Virasana. I know it's weird, but now I'm starting the sequence. So what I'm going to do, you can use a block or you could use a blanket for this, but I'm just going to take a little blanket like this and come seated at the very edge of it with my two sitting bones. I want to make sure that my 10 toes go behind me. Now, so there is this drawing down here and this lifting here. Again, you could check the hip point. So Virasana, and use a block. If maybe a blanket isn't enough, you can use more than one blanket or watch. You can put a block there. And this brings a lot of ease to the pose. So if your ankles are tight or your feet or even your knees, use more height. And also, the more height you use, you can see the change of the position of the pelvis. So once you come into Virasana, check that the 10 toes go behind you, and do this. Take your thumbs to the inner heels, just like this. And then really stretch out, see if your fingertips will touch, and then lift your chest. Very, very good, guys. Take your arms out, interlace your fingers. Let's do right over left. Draw the thumbs away from one another. Take the palms, open them out to the top of your mat. Inhale, bring your arms up. And for me, I've got to turn the palms to the head instead of to the ceiling, but you guys turn your palms to the ceiling if you can. Stretch up through the palms of the hands. Take the arms and see if you can lift them up, but also move them behind your ears. Now here, what I want you guys to focus on is not just the length of the back of your arms, but the length from your outer waist to your outer wrist. See if you can find that additional space. Draw your shin bones down, your leg bones down, even out your breath. Bring your chin parallel, press up. Bring the abdominal wall back, exhale, release. Good. Good, good, good. So again, while we're resting the arms, and my palms are facing down, even though I want you guys to take it up if you can. But with here, what we're looking for is the ability to get this watch. Oh, if you can think to use or remember to use your shins to draw down, you see, so you're using that resistance here to get more length in the spine. Try opposite. Extend the arms out, interlace left over right. I'm so sore and I have no idea why. And then turn the palms out. I don't know what we did yesterday, but it must have been wild. And then stretch open the fingers, draw the backs of the arms in, and inhale, take the arms up. Now we can work into the inner wrist bones, the thumb sides of your wrists if you touch the ceiling. and the pinky sides of your wrist, see if they will touch the floor. Do this again at the same time, right? So this duality, you've got to extend up and stretch down at the same time. Turn the palms up and see if you can turn the pinky fingers towards the back of the head. Good. And then take the backs of the arms down and the inner arms up. Good. Use this one more time. See if you can get more length. Press your shins down, your femurs down, and lift one more time. Nice. And then release. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So guys, I'm going to come hands and knees, and I think I'm going to keep that blanket. Right? I'm going to keep the blanket, but I'm going to change my leg position. So from here, I'm going to come up and I'll just move the blanket to the side. This one's tough, right? And then I'll take my right knee and I'm going to keep the blanket, but I put it in a different position and take my right knee to the chest, cross it over the left. Now, what I want to do from here, guys, is I want to sit on top of the left heel, right? So I bring a blanket between the heel and the bottom, and then I wiggle my way down. That's part of it. You got to wiggle your way down. That makes it easier. And then that outer right foot is here. And so I'll sit here, and this is Gomukhasana. So if you don't need a blanket to sit on, you would just sit on top of your heel. Your heel is at your perineum. Your heel is at your perineum. Your 5 left toes go straight behind you. So everyone, see if you can come into Gomukhasana legs, come hands and knees, bring the right knee up and over the left, and then sit on top of your left heel. We've got arms to go with this too. Once you get here, I want you to extend the right arm out, take the palm to the ceiling, take the right arm up. Take the left hand to the right elbow, bend the right elbow. See if you can get that elbow to extend up to the ceiling. Use the left fingertips. Not only move the elbow back, but see if you can stretch the skin of the back of the arm. Let the fingers, right fingers, come down the right shoulder blade deeper. And then exhale, release. Come on forward. And you'll take your time, but you'll uncross. And then that right heel. And before you come down, you want to make sure that the top of that right foot is completely against your mat. So I'll move the blanket so that you guys can see. So again, those toes are straight behind you, and I'll wiggle down again. Don't forget the wiggle down. The blanket makes it so much easier. And then take the left arm out, palm up, left arm goes up. Take the right hand there and kind of lift the left arm and then bend the elbow. Walk your right fingertips to the tip of your left elbow. Keep that arm in, but not only move the elbow back, but see if you can stretch the skin with your right fingertips. Pull the back of the arm up. Good, good. You can use your hand to get that. And then see if the fingertips will go down the shoulder blade a little bit deeper. Use your breath. Bring your shin bone that's against the mat down. Bring your outer top foot down. Great, great, great. And then exhale, release. Perfecto. Come forward. And again, you'll come hands and knees. And that's all we're going to do with that. And we'll come, again, move your blanket out if you want, but come hands and knees. And we'll take a dog pose to stretch the backs of the knees. So in this dog pose, guys, if your heels are easily coming down onto your mat, keep moving your feet back so that you get more distance between the palms of your hands and your toes. Think of the backs of the legs fully opening. We've done a lot of knee bending. So not really, but see if you can really open up the backs of the legs and think about, I mean, and I don't even know if this is the right word to use, but think about that duality or that action. Your lower legs go down. The backs of your upper legs go up. So see if you can get this at the same time. And for now, it may just be energetic. Stretch the arms, open the armpits. Good. And then come on down with an exhalation. Rest. You can rest in child's pose, or you can just rest kneeling. If you're in child's pose, you can rest the arms, you can rest the inner wrist. And then come up, and I'm going to do another dog pose, but this time with a block for the forehead. So, and this one really is to really kind of supposed to allow us to be able to relax the abdominals instead of squeezing and tightening, right? So it gives us that opportunity to focus more on our legs and less on trying to keep ourselves in position, right? And so your block can be whatever level that you want it to be. It can even be 2 blocks, right? But you'll bring the block in front of you, down on your mat, right underneath your breastbone. And then when you lift up, you don't bend your elbows and let your weight come forward, but you move your weight back, really kind of back away from the block. And then bring the head down. So again, the legs, work them back away from the block and bring the forehead down. And really, it does make it a lot easier if you can get the forehead to ground. So using multiple blocks or higher up block. And see if it makes a difference, the hands and the feet distance. And a lot of times it really does. Yeah. So once you get the forehead grounded, move your weight back. So your legs, especially in your hips, go away from that block. If you can get your head grounded, then see you take one wiggle back of your feet and then press. That's it. See if with an exhalation here, you can relax the abdominals, really relax. Good. Now with the heel of your hands, press. See if your weight, your side body from the backs of your arms kind of down to your outer feet will move back. Good. Good. Perfect. And then come down. Perfect, guys. If you want, you can move your block to the side and just take another moment in child's pose. And one really simple one that we don't do, we'll do next. I think it's an important pose. So guys, go ahead and slowly bring yourselves up. And what we're going to do is just come standing. And the first pose that we're going to come into is a pose called Tadasana. English translation is mountain, right? So when you come standing on the mat, we'll bring the inner parts of the feet together. And this looks like an easy pose, but it's not, right? So we'll bring the inner parts of the feet together and we'll kind of rock back and forth to find all 4 corners of our feet. We'll then take one hand to the sacrum, draw the sacrum down, one hand to the interior pelvis, and we'll do that shift. Do you see that? Oh. And you can do that a couple of times just to see if you can really arch. And then you can really kind of pull down and then find that neutral space. Yeah, that's it. So there, listen, as you're here, and once you've done that, go ahead and bring the arms down to the side body. And when we do that, we want to bring the hands so that they're right outside of the outer hips. So not here, and sometimes we go here. Here, remember, would be a sign of tight shoulders or shoulders that roll forward, right? So we want to see if we can get the hands back, bring the tops of the shoulders down, and then watch this space here. Up. So it's that armpit chest that makes this kind of like arch up. Stretch the arms down. Really stretch through the fingertips. Good. Press evenly into the feet. So the knees are straight and the elbows are straight. Now focus your gaze in front of you for a moment. Can even be at the tip of the nose. Great. And then exhale, release. Perfect. Now another way to do Tadasana, and so we'll try that too, but on your own, not now during class, but you can always practice this against the wall, because that's the idea, is that you flatten the back body to the wall. But this time what we'll do is we'll do the same thing. We'll do that same exact thing, but we'll take, when we take the arms out, just turn the palms open. We'll move the arms out a little bit so we could see if we could get that lift in the chest, just like that, okay? So one more time, inner feet together, tops of your shoulders really pulling down away from your ears. Adjust the pelvis, front of the pelvis up, posterior pelvis down. Extend the arms down first and then turn the palms out, spread the fingers. Move the arms out a little bit. Can you feel that creation of space? Now lift the side armpit chest here. Bring your chin so that it's parallel to your mat. Let's see if we can maintain that. Turn the palms back, but maintain that lift of the chest. And then exhale, release. Not that easy, huh? Okay, so I'm gonna get a block. Actually, no, I'm not. It's not time for a block yet. But I'm gonna take that Tadasana and see if I can add to it. So from this Tadasana, I'm gonna bend the right knee, take the right knee out, grab the front of the right ankle, pull the foot up, and here there's that clamping of the femur bone and the shin bone. I wanna tuck my outer left hip in. I'll go here to here. Again, it's Tadasana. You've changed one thing from it being Tadasana, and that's taking that one knee and that hip in an external rotation, okay? So start standing together in Tadasana and think about trying to keep Tadasana. And then you can bring your hands to your hips if you'd like. Take the right knee up, turn the right knee out, and grab the front of your right ankle and draw up. Kind of pull that shin bone up as well. Bring the foot to the inner left thigh. Now take your outer left leg and tuck it in towards your right foot. Take your inner right knee back. See if you can square your hip points forward. If you've got that, bring the palms to the chest. Hands together at the heart center. Good, good. Draw the foot into the leg and the leg into the foot. Compact your hips. Take your arms up. Palms are together. This is Urdhva Namaskarasana. Good. Press up through the fingertips. Squeeze the ears with the backs of your arms. Pull your belly button in. And then exhale, release. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Now listen. And Wendy, you have a chair there, I see. Use anything that you need for balance. So if you're close to a wall, watch, you could, or anything, a chair, anything that you can just hang on to for a moment for balance. Okay, so we'll go to the other side. So you could start with your hands on your hips, but remember Tadasana. So don't lose the Tadasana spine here. As you come up, don't lose the Tadasana spine. You'll bring the left foot up. You can hold the front of the ankle for a moment. You can use that left arm to draw the inner left knee back. Good. Now take the outer right hip and tuck in. See if you can tuck the outer right hip in. Bring the hands to the heart center. Good. Engage the lower buttock here. And then press up through the fingertips. Good, good. Lift your side body. Make space here. Create space. Compact the hips and move up out of the hips. Nice, nice. Hands to the heart and release. That was excelente, guys. Excellent, excellent. Okay, so I think I'll do that one more time. And I hate to take us to a wall, but I think I will. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in front of the wall, close as I can get. I've got the fingertips here. And I'm going to bring the right foot up. See if I can keep this knee moving from the wall with the fingertips square the hips. And from here, so just kind of using the wall reference for your front ribs and your hip points. Okay, so you could start facing your wall with your fingertips here and do kind of like a lifting of your side chest and bring your shoulders down. Go anywhere that you need to go from here, but you'll bring that right foot up. Maybe your left fingertips stay to the wall. Put your right heel right into the inner left thigh, and then take that outer left hip and tuck it in. Take the inner right knee from the wall, but turn the front rib cage to the wall. Use your fingertips. Good. Once you find that balance, I want you guys to engage the lower right or the lower left buttock. Lower left butt. Great. Hands and arms can go up if possible. If not, stay where you are. Now reach up to get that length and then release. Very nice, guys. Very, very nice. So switch sides. And again, you're using the wall for a couple different reasons here. With your fingertips, use this to lift your chest and to take that inner left knee back away from the wall. That right hip, even if you want to use your right hand, tuck your outer right hip in. It moves towards your inner knee. Find your balance against the wall and strongly engage lower left buttock, lower right buttock. Draw in. And then maybe you could get the arms up. Palms can touch if possible, but use that to get some length. Keep the inner knee going back and the hips compacted. Good, good, good. Front rib cage to the wall, hip point square to the wall. Perfect. And then exhale. Very good, guys. And release. Yeah, this sequence, it's a basic sequence, but it's kind of just taking us back to some of the standing poses, which, Mr. Iyengar says this is where you get your overall strength. So the overall strength of your joints, yeah. And this also where you kind of gain balance too. That's right. So we're going to do Utkatasana. And the way that I'm going to do it first is Tadasana. And I'm going to go up with my arms. And again, I want to really do Tadasana with Urdhva Hastasana here. And then I'm going to exhale, keep the knees and feet together, bend the knees, try to use that opposition, stretching the arms up. When I get the knees bent, I want to move my weight back and see if I can lift even higher. And then I'll come back here, to here. That's not easy. Okay. So go ahead and bring your feet together and take Tadasana. And then take your arms up. And that's Urdhva Hastasana. And really lift through your arms. Good. Good. Fingertips almost touching. And then with an exhalation, bend your knees. Bend them slowly, but really focus on taking your arms opposite. Good. Bend them so that the backs of your legs become parallel. Put your weight in your heels and bring your bottom towards your mat. Nice, guys. See if you can get your arms to go back a little bit further. Nice, Aiden. Good. And then straighten the knees. Keep the arms up. Extend through the fingertips and then release. Nice, guys. Okay. I'm going to do it again. And I'm just using blocks because you guys may need to use blocks, right? You don't have to, but you may need to. So if you're going to use blocks, and I've got my feet together, you're going to use blocks and kind of like here, right? A little bit behind you. So what I'm going to do is just stand in Tadasana. I'm going to bend the knees and let the torso go forward. I'm going to stretch out here so there's no rounding. I've got my mat, right? And I'll move my weight. Watch where the weight moves. And it's via the shin bones. I'm going to go, do you see the shin bones move? So instead of letting my shin bones come forward towards my toes, I want to draw them up and press them back until I get my weight here. Bring my head down, take my arms, hands back here. Okay, so let's see how that works out. So feet together, blocks again if maybe the backs of your hands won't reach your mat. And then go ahead and bend your knees a lot and bring your front rib cage to your femur bones. And then tuck your chin. Yeah, so you're just here, you're kind of tucking your chin. Sink to a 90 degree, so sink a little bit deeper. Now take the backs of your hands to your mat with your palms up. Walk your hands back as far as you can. Sink those knees 90. Everyone move your shin bones back. They go back towards your heels. Hold. Sink, sink, sink. Bring your tailbone down. Backs of your legs parallel. Everyone bend the knees just a little bit more. And then move your weight into the heels of your feet. Heels of your feet. And then exhale. Good. Release. Good. You can straighten the knees and stand. Very good. So I'm going to do that again like this. So I come forward and I let the knees go forward too, just so I can bend the knees enough. So I let them purposely move forward towards the toes. But once I get here and you can use the mat, it'll really pull your weight back. And then I'm going to just kind of let the fingertips come down, and then I'm going to sweep the arms up, up, up. And then we'll come up, okay? So we're going to get the lower half first. So bend the knees. Let your knees go over your ankles to start. And then once they're there, move your shin bones back. Your knees also go back. Notice that your knees move back. They become behind your toes, behind your ankles, are lined up. Let your fingertips rest down on your mat. And then inhale, take the arms up. Keep the legs just as they are. Nice, guys. Don't unbend the knees. Nice, Wendy. But use the arms. Use the fingertips. Move the chest away from the legs. And then exhale, release. That was great. Best Utkatasana ever. Okay. I'm going to use a block. Come to the back of the mat. And really what you can do is you can put your block to the right, right? And then I'm going to stand center in Tadasana. I'm going to take the arms up, fingertips touch, and I'll jump. And the block's there, and I may have to kind of adjust it, right? So I want it around here. And then I'm going to lean forward, left heel left, right toes to the right. I want to bring the bottom in and move the sacrum towards the left heel. And I'll come down, Trikonasana. And I'm going to stay. So here in Trikonasana, I want to tuck that outer right hip and leg in. And I want to try to turn the chest up here. And then we'll go from here to here, to here, back to here. One more time to here, to here. Okay. So it's a little bit of movement. But what I think, what we can remember is there's always a tucking of your outer hips in. Even if you're in an external rotation, there's always this tucks in. Okay, so come to the center of your mat. If you need a block, it'll go to your right. Bring your feet together, Tadasana. And then bring your fingertips together and really extend the elbows out. Bend the knees and step or jump. Good. And then adjust the feet. Stretch, stretch, stretch out through your fingertips. Stretch out through your fingertips. Lean your torso forward, lift your left heel, take it to the left. Bend your right knee, take your right toes to the right. Press into your inner right foot. Reach over your right leg, come into Trikonasana. So your right hand can go to that block, whatever level that it is. But move your hips opposite of your torso. Can you press your hips back to the left? That's it. That's it. Hips go back to the left, especially the right sitting bone. It goes down towards the floor and then back. Take the left arm up, fingers together, reach up. Good, reach up. Check your inner right foot, guys. Bring your inner right foot in, your outer right leg in. Take your outer left side back. Good. Take your left arm over your ear, palm now faces the floor. Bend your right knee to a 90-degree angle. Keep your right knee behind your right ankle. Good, good. Stretch. Turn the chest up. Nice, guys. Guys, I want you to really open your outer left foot to the mat. See if the ear and the arm will come into contact with one another. Press into your block. Straighten your right knee. Keep your arm. Yeah, the arm can go back up, but straighten the knee. Good. Come back to Trikonasana. Exhale, bend the knee. Come back to Parsva. Good. Push down into the block. Next exhalation, swing the torso up. Level it over your hip points, warrior two. Warrior two. Good. Reach into your left fingertips. And then release. Good. Good, 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 good. I think I did that right. Did I? I think we did 2 Trikonasana, 2 Parsva, and then a warrior two. So what I'm going to say, let's see, maybe if I turn this direction. And when we get here, this hip, this buttock, see if you could get that sitting bone first down like this. And then see if you can pull it back towards the back heel as you're leaning over. One thing I want to say is when we come here, we've got to bring the weight equal. So here would be my weight moving all to the right. Watch. And what I want us to do is watch my left side. You see, so this left side, now your right side is really reaching in its direction. So don't let all of your weight follow your bent knee or your externally rotated hip. So go ahead and do the same thing. Separate the legs and feet. Get step or jump. Arms stay out, and then you lean the torso forward. Right heel up and out to the right. Bend the left knee, turn your left toes to the left. And then you can check front rib cage lined up. And then reach out over your left leg, bring your left hand down. Now you're going to really kind of move that inner left foot in, but see if you can tuck that outer left leg in. See if you can direct your left sitting bone down and then back into your right heel. Good, good, good. Now the top arm can go up if you can, if that's comfortable. Keep your left hand where it is. Begin to bend that left knee. Try to bend it 90 degrees. Don't let all of your weight go to your left, but use resistance to the right. Good. Use resistance. That's it. That's it. That's it. The top arm rests against the ear. Keep the head so that the neck stays in line with the rest of your spine. Push down through your bottom hand, straighten your knee. Good, good, good. Take an exhalation and bend your knee again. Your left knee 90. Again, use that resistance in the outer right side. Good, good. Outer right side. Open it up, stretch it out. Great. Now swing your torso up, come into warrior two. Keep that knee bent at that 90 angle. Good. Bring the bottom down, the abdominals back. Now go back to reaching into your back leg, your right leg. Good. And then release. Very good, guys. Very, very good. And then I'm going to go ahead and just take a few seconds and press Aretha. So from the top of the mat again, I'm going to go here. And you can always step if you've got knee injuries or ankles or anything. You could do this, okay? But if everything is good, here. You can also use your blocks, but we're going to come forward, put our hands on the mat, and here again, we work to press out to the outer feet a lot. Out, this part of your feet goes down. And then we'll see if we can walk the hands back and fold. But what I really want us to work is on the position of the feet, in particular, the outer feet. So, legs, feet together, step or jump apart, hands then go to the hips. And then you'll fold forward. You'll start by putting your palms on your blocks or on your mat. Let's keep the elbows straight for a moment. Now, take your inner feet and take them out to your outer feet. Go more than you think. And then with that, lean a little bit forward and put weight in your hands. Now take your inner thighs out again. Now keep that. Roll your sitting bones towards your low back, bend your elbows, and walk your hands back or move your blocks back. Keep your elbows tucked in. Now see if you can pull the tips of your elbows or drag or draw them behind you, the tips. Good. Relax the chin. Relax the head. Now go to your outer feet again. Can we move our shin bones towards our knees? Can you move your quadriceps up? Now with the weight of your outer feet, can you move your sits bones away from one another? Wonderful. Bring your hands back out in front of you. And bring the torso so it's parallel. Again, take the inner feet out. Once you get your torso parallel, your elbows are straight, you've kind of double checked on your legs, interlace your fingers behind your back. Stretch your knuckles down. Open your chest. Use this interlace to open your side armpit chest. And then take your arms over your head. Now, if you bring your chin towards the groove of your neck, your arms automatically move over your head deeper. So take your chin to the groove of your neck and move the back of your head towards your mat. That's it, Lisa. Can you move the back of your head more to kind of touch? That's great. That's great. That's great. That's great. It's the back of the head. It's the back of the head that moves towards the mat. Nice, Andy. And then come up, come back to parallel, release your interlace. Bring your hands to your hips. And then come up. Perfect. And you can step or jump your feet together. Excelente. So guys, we're going to come down onto the mat, and what he's got is Parikasana. So I'm going to just use a blanket, and I'm going to come kneeling on the blanket, and I'll be a little bit to the left so that I can, when I come here, I've got the room, but I'll take that knee out. And hip points, I'll square forward. Wiggle the right foot, right knee, straighten the knee. I'm going to go up with the arms beforehand so I could get that left arm to the ear. And then I'll just open up the palm out, right palm to the center. And I'll go as far over as I can. Okay. And then we'll just kind of come here, rest, and then we'll go to the other side. So using a blanket is perfectly fine, but you'll kneel on your shins, your knees, and then you'll bend your right knee, put your right foot on the mat with your right toes out, 90 angle. Yeah, there he is, right toes to the right foot up. And you know, guys, this is kind of a tough position, even if the knee is not straight, right? Even you can feel that work here. So you can use that right hand to kind of iron out. And then I want you to kind of press into that inner right knee. So kind of move your weight. If you can, straighten your right knee. You can also bring your right heel up or to the mat and your toes up like this. But take your arms up. Bring your left arm to your left ear. Let your right arm drop down. Lean over to the right. So the right palm faces out. Let the right arm be heavy. You can even use the right hand to the right shin, but take the ear, the arm to the ear. Keep going, guys. Good, good. Turn the chest up. Nice. And then exhale, release. Very nice, guys. Very nice. And then go to the other side. And then we're going to forget about this sequence from here on out. Just kidding. Go to the other side. So now you're here and you may kind of move over right side of your blanket if your blanket's like this, and then come here. Yeah. And then you can feel that the hips come unsquare when you move the left knee. So you're going to square them center. And then straighten your left knee, or you can bring your left heel down, left toes up. But again, front ribs forward, and then go up with the arms. Right arm stays, palm of the left hand open, lean over to the left. Let's see if we can really use that right arm and right side body, kind of push some of your weight to the right. Let that left arm be heavy. Good, and go over as far as you can. Perfect. Nice. And then release, very slowly. Good, 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 good. And you guys can come to kneeling. Let's go ahead and move our, I'm going to move this blanket and take Setu Bandha. Actually, I'm going to keep this blanket and I'm going to put it underneath my shoulders. So my head's going to come onto the mat. Like this. And that just gives this little bit of extra lift here. This is the part, again, here is where you're opening in your back bends, guys. Your back bends, really the upper back is what moves in. So this action is what you're trying to get in almost every pose, but especially in your back bends. See, so you want that space creation right here. The armpits become very open here. Now, if you can go deeper, you'll straighten your legs. And then again, it reminds you of the very beginning pose, the blanket rollover, where now you should feel as if the entire front of your body is open, and even there's space at the back of your body. So the knee straightening is definitely an option, but it's not something that you have to do, especially if it bothers your low back. And the main thing here is to get that back bend at the thoracic spine. So you can feel, not with your hands, but just kind of with your mind's eye, and then check if the shoulder blades are moving into the body. The lower front rib cage again goes down. Good, good, good. Perfect. Just a few more moments here. And if your knees were straight, you can bend your knees slowly and just everyone bring your feet back against your mat. Everyone see if you can maybe walk your heels back so that you can bring your fingertips under your heel bones and then just kind of press down. So the palms go up and the heels walk back, just so you can put a little bit of weight in your heels. In your fingers from your heels. And then you can release the hands, lift your hips up. Really stretch the front of your hips towards your knees, and then work your way down one vertebra at a time. And I've got the space, and you guys may not, but I'm going to just kind of roll over that blanket that I had under the backs of my arms. Now it's just at the lumbar. And then I'll rest again. Maybe even bringing the knees, inner knees together, feet wide. Now again, you've got that blanket under you. So it's at the lower part of the back where you can still kind of gently bring the abdominals down. Very good. And then release the arms. And I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to take my hands to my blanket. It's at my lumbar, but I'm going to take my hands here, walk my heels in, lift my bottom. Then I'll pull that blanket down. So now I'm seated on it. That same blanket that I had under the shoulders. I'm going to grab a yoga strap that's nearby. So if you can't easily get here, then just come up and kind of move yourselves around. So now you're seated on that blanket and you've got one belt. And I'm going to take the right foot up and put the belt around the right foot and straighten the right leg. And again, I'm on top of this blanket. And I want to really move that outer right hip. And you can even use an L shape with your right hand, but it goes down towards your inner left knee. So once I get that leg bone back, I'm then going to straighten the left knee and really ground the left heel. Reach and grab the strap with my left hand, and I'm going to take my right leg to the left, and I'm going to look to the right. Want to see if I can really keep that outer left hip tucked in and an internal rotation on my outer left leg. Roll your outer right hip down. And then I'll bring the right leg back to the center. Grab the strap with the right hand. Take the right leg out to the right. Bend the right elbow. Bring the back of your right arm down. Your left arm can extend to the left. See if you can really get the back of that left leg to the mat. Try to make that left leg a little bit longer. Move your abdominals to the left, and then I'll bring that right leg up. Hold the belt with two hands, and now I'm going to pull the right leg in. Keep the shoulders grounded. Keep the chest open. And then see if you can bring that left femur bone onto the mat. And then I'll bring the right leg back. I'll bend the right knee and the left knee and release. And then I'll switch sides. So once you take the strap around your left foot, you keep your right knee bent. And then if you want, L shape with that left hand and draw down on that outer left hip. Use your left hand to really get that hip to move, hip bone, leg bone. And then go ahead and once you've got that left leg where you want it, straighten the right knee. Bring that center right heel down. So center your right heel onto your mat. Take your right hand to your strap. Take it close to your foot. Move your abdominals to the left. Your gaze can go to the left. And then take your left leg to the right. And again, my focus, or where I have to work in this one, is keeping that right hip in and compacted, keeping that compacting of the hips, that kind of internal rotation of especially my right leg. Good, 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 good. Same applies here. If you had the ability to take that left hand L shape to the outer left hip, draw it down. And then bring your leg back. Reach and grab with your left hand. Take your left leg out to the left. And sometimes I hold the mat. I let the right elbow bend, and I may hold the yoga mat to keep my weight even so that I don't let all of my weight go to the left with the left leg. That's it. So you can use the abdominals, you really ground that outer right hip. And I had a yoga teacher that would say, cut down into your mat with your outer left hip. Or now, in this case, cut down into that blanket. If you were actually going to make an indentation to your blanket coming from your outer hip. And then bring the leg up. So this is the left leg. It will come back to the center. And then you'll pull the leg in to the chest. And here, really try not to lift the back of your left hip up off of your blanket, but rather pressing down as you pull the leg in. Good, 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 good. Use the chest. If we can get that armpit chest to open up, your leg moves in a little bit closer. Great. And then bend both of the knees to release. Inner knees together. Feet can kind of move out. And then, guys, you can go ahead and bring your knees in, roll over to your right, use your hands to come up. Perfect. And we'll take our inversion. So for your inversion, it can be legs up the wall if you want to kind of stay in that quiet mode, or you could come into headstand or even handstand. So whatever inversion that you would like to do, then do that. So if you're not able to invert today, Karmasana or Upavisa or any seated forward fold would work. Headstand, hand or Shirsasana, or legs up the wall is also doable. So just come wherever you're going to go for your inversion for a few moments. And since I'm in my inversion, I can't really see what you guys are doing. But if you are in headstand, I think the most, one of the great lessons that I learned about headstand is letting the legs relax some to start. And when you do that, it actually moves your weight very evenly into your outer wrist and your elbow. Lisa, that looks so good. That the shoulder alignment in that handstand is perfect. Shoulder alignment was perfect. Good, 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 good. A few more seconds wherever you are. Good. Relaxing again. Remember, relaxing your legs and Shirsasana. Now it's going to change. It's going to distribute your weight differently when you do that. And what it does is it actually puts that weight into your arms and your wrist instead of your head or your neck. So if you're in Shirsasana, go ahead and come down and release your neck, maybe by folding forward. If you're in legs up the wall, stay there for a moment. Just taking a couple deep breaths here. If you're not standing to release, then you can sit and maybe forward fold. Again, legs up the wall, you could stay there a few moments. And then you guys can go ahead and exhale to release. Good. And maybe just come to your seated position or whatever you're going to do. And we're going to take Shavasana here pretty soon. But I think I'm going to do a forward fold before we do that. And we didn't forward fold in the beginning, which we usually do. So sit on blankets or just on your mat and come crossed at your mid shins. I'm going to take one block, and that can be maybe two, but whatever level that you want it. And I'm going to lift the chest, maybe hold the block and bring the forehead down. And then from here, I want to let the arms relax. If you need your block higher, that's fine. If you need your block lower, that's also okay. If you need to use a chair instead of a block, you can do that as well. But once you come forward and you do get your forehead grounded, let the top half of your body relax. Really let the back of your neck relax. Don't press your forehead, but there is a little bit of, I'd say, comfortable weight at the forehead. Good, 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 good. And then let's see if we can move out of this with an inhalation all the way up to your seated position. So you'd inhale. And then once you come seated, you'll exhale. And then we recross. And then a big inhale. And then an exhale. See if you can exhale all the way over until the forehead comes to the prop. Yeah, see if you can really take that exhale. And once your forehead comes down, relax. Upper part of your body relaxes, your arms, your shoulders, your face, your breath, your throat. Closing your eyes is also something that is okay to do. Maybe just giving a few moments to let the attention kind of settle and move inward some. Relax the belly, especially the abdominals, relax here. And then with your inhale, let's come up and take a deep inhale all the way up. Keep your gaze focused and then exhale the breath. And then we'll take Shavasana. Perfect. Perfecto. So any way you want to do Shavasana, I'm going to not do it, but if I was going to, I would give a little bit of height to the back of the knees, just because I think I've created some space and I want to keep that even during Shavasana. But I mean, that's up to you. Legs can go up the wall as well or in a chair and give that same effect. But once you come down, the palms go up and the arms move out. So come any way you want. But then when you get here, exhale your breath. And with that exhalation, just allow heaviness into the body. So every muscle, every bone can become very heavy with that exhalation. Allowing the brain to relax for a few moments and the heart to relax. And then all of the internal organs of the abdominals. Again, see if you can let go here. Begin to deepen your breath and very slowly move your awareness back into the room. When you're ready, small movements in the fingers and in the toes. Bend the elbows and bring your hands to your belly or to your heart. Stretch your arms here up and over the head for full body stretch. Bring the abdominal wall down towards your mat, but gently. And then as you exhale, release the arms to the side body. And you can bend the knees. one at a time. Feet come onto the mat. And then when you're ready, you can bring the knees into the heart. Wrap the arms around the knees in any movements here. And then when you're ready, roll over to the right and hold in a fetal position. And then when you're ready, bring yourselves up seated. Any seated position that you would like. Hands can come to the heart center, maybe thumbs to the third eye, or hands just resting at the legs. The chapter that I'm going to read from today, it's under spiritual practice, and the Sanskrit name for that is sadhana. The essence of yoga in all the faiths and traditions is to be easeful in body, peaceful in mind, and useful in life. It is easy to sit and meditate. The most difficult part is to practice bearing insult and injury and learning to adapt, adjust, and accommodate. Whether we want it or not, the world will give us the experiences we need and make us grow. Thank you guys. Namaste.